welcome to That's My Opinion. I'm your host, Molly Jordan. Let's get to it. Alright, we're on episode 14 of That's My Opinion. You know, I do this simply for my enjoyment, but they're getting a little behind, and I apologize for that. So this is coming out to you guys a little late, but we're going to put these in order. So this episode we're doing After Earth and Now You See Me. Both of those came out a long time ago, but we'll start with After Earth. A crash landing leaves Katai Rage and his father Cypher stranded on Earth a millennium after events forced humanity's escape. With Cypher injured, Katai must embark on a perilous journey to signal for help. Now, if any of you have seen the preview, this is a Will Smith, Jaden Smith movie, and there's a few other actors in it, but most of the movie, 90%, is just this father and son apocalyptic movie about a boy coming to age. Will Smith is a super soldier of this After Earth attack. He becomes what they call a ghost, and he can do things as a super soldier that no one else can. The enemy is a force to be reckoned with because its detection to finding its enemy is the smell of fear, which is really kind of clever, actually. I thought the writing of how the creatures came to be was actually quite awesome. Will Smith's character doesn't produce fear. He learns how to not be fearful, becomes ghost-like, and he has this son who is over-emotional and completely fearful, and so he has to teach his son how to survive when his father's instinct comes naturally. So that's more of the story than what the preview or what the synopsis gives you. So this movie is Will Smith teaching his son how to be a man when he can't be hands-on. Towards the end, it's a feel-good movie. However, there is a lot of alien killing, death, so it's not really a family movie by any means. In a breakdown, the good I've already kind of given you. I thought the good was the uniqueness of the enemy. I don't think that, I just watched what they call an honest trailer, and it was for Independence Day, and it showed how they took all these things from other movies to make their one movie, and it was absolutely true. We've seen it before with After Earth. It's not something that I recall ever seeing before. I thought the enemy was kind of unique, so I thought it was written well. The bad was I thought that the breakdown of these accents, like all these new apocalyptic movies are telling us that when Earth shuts down and we have to start a new nation, we all start talking differently, which I guess would happen technically. Cloud Atlas is where they have their own kind of language, where I guess the develop language as Earth evolutionizes. I suppose that's true, but these accents that came from After Earth were quite unique, quite weird. It felt like Will Smith trying too hard. I didn't think that there was a reason that we needed different voices. The Ugly. A lot of you think that The Ugly might be the fact that this is an M. Night Shyamalan movie, and I'm gonna tell you that it's not. Now, no way, in any way, did M. Night recover from the major mistakes that he made before with Village. There's quite a few. I mean, there's a list. We all know that M. Night Shyamalan went from cool Sixth Sense to failure. The Ugly, I'm gonna tell you, was, as a mother, it was hard to watch this boy survive out in the wilderness all by himself. There were a few scenes where he was near death, and it was really hard as a mom to watch and not be able to fix it. That's the only Ugly as it tugged on me emotionally, and probably not a lot of other people. But it wasn't necessarily a bad thing. That's why it's not so bad. I thought they had a clever way of giving you emotion through the bodysuit that he wore. And I thought that was really, really clever. But every time the bodysuit went white, I was fearing like I couldn't take care of this child. And so it pulled at that heartstring. And so that's the only ugly review I'm going to give. Overall, I'm going to tell you that After Earth was an entertaining movie. I wouldn't call it great. I think we got our hopes up a little bit. I think it was supposed to be better than it was, but as far as post-apocalyptic movies this year, I'm still going to give it to Oblivion. The next movie on our list is Now You See Me. This was a magic movie. An FBI agent, played by Mark Ruffalo, track a team of illusionists who pull off bank heists during their performance and reward their audiences with the money. And yes, that's certainly what the preview tells you as well. A more personal synopsis is this movie is about magic. There are 4 different magicians who do things very differently. Woody Harrelson is a hypnotist who reads people really well. Isla Fisher is more the traditional Houdini kind of magician. And I forget what Dave Franco was, but Jesse Eisenberg's character was is that your card kind of magician. And so these 4 magicians separately all team up to be a part of this higher order, and they have to go through these 3 shows. As the movie goes along, we see a trick, they explain a trick, and I think that's pretty clever of the movie. Mark Ruffalo is playing detective, so he is trying to figure out how they rob banks, which, yes, technically they do. So Mark Ruffalo is playing a detective who's trying to figure out how they're robbing the bank. So he hires Morgan Freeman to help him explain how the trick was done. And then Michael Caine, who financially supports all 4 of these magicians for his hotel. The good. I'm not going to give any away, but the best part of this movie is the end. So as I was explaining how you see a trick in the movie and then they explain how it's done. And that happens again and again. They explain the trick, they show the trick. They do the trick, they explain the trick. They do the trick, they explain the trick. And it's kind of like, you're like, wow, how cool is that magic trick? Ooh, the detective work to figure it out. Really keeps you on your toes. You're trying to figure out, like, oh, wow, how's that done? Oh, look at that. Oh, wow. It was really kind of cool. But the best part, they show a trick, they explain a trick, they show the trick, they explain the trick. The very end of the movie, they explain it all as one big magic trick. And I'm not giving anything away. I'm just going to tell you that it's mind-blowing that at the end of the movie, you're like, wow, that was so awesome. It's worth watching the movie just to get to the end. And that's not a bad thing. The other good that this movie has going for it is it's a great cast. I loved everybody. I love Jesse Eisenberg. Love Woody Harrelson. Dave Franco is certainly making a name for himself. I thought he had a very brief role, but he was awesome. And Isla Fisher is great whenever she does. Cute little redheads. You know I have a thing for him. So, and Michael Caine, Morgan Freeman, always good in whatever that they do. The bad. At this point in the month, it has been a very long time since I've seen the movie. And I can honestly tell you that I do not remember a bad or an ugly to this movie. I don't remember complaining about a thing. I remember how cool the end was. I think some people might think a bad is you didn't want that magic explained, but I'm not that person. I think an ugly might be, some people say it's been done before. Mind freak, the whole magicians thing, it's overdone. But I didn't feel that way in this movie. I thought it was really cool to get 4 different types of magic and put it all into one show, watch the show, and then have the show explained. I thought that was really clever. I thought it was like a big magic special that was, I don't particularly like magic necessarily, but it was fun to watch. That's it for episode 14. We still have 3 more coming your way. We have my new co-host for 2 of them, and I'll get another one of these out as soon as I can, and I think we're going to pretty much make our Marcus regular, so I'm going to try and get these out as soon as I can, and just be patient with me, folks, and if you're enjoying these, I would love you guys to let me know. I haven't heard, so thanks, and see you next week.